Being a Muslim in America today is it's a lot of things actually. It's one of the most diverse populations in the country in terms of religious populations. The angle I'd like to take today is being African American Muslim, which contributes to about 30 to 40% of the Muslim population. It's the largest that we know scientifically of the Muslim population, which really gets which I think that information really gets marginalized. So, so being an African American Muslim, now coupled, with racism and Islamophobia come in, if you're not on the other side, it can be really scary. So that's what I would say. It's a lot of different things. There's a lot of good people, great people, people who are really sympathetic and allies for Muslims, and but then you got a lot of people who aren't really trying to learn or connect or know more about other people. So yeah, so it gets really, really confusing. It gets really, really scary. You look on Facebook, you look on Twitter, you look on social media, you see all these different things, and you see how lopsided a system that we call justice is supposed to be towards Muslim people. You see how news and media conceptualize someone who just murders in cold blood. You may have heard the two imams in New York, and just shot in the back of their head and murdered in cold blood. And yeah, there's a cultural thing probably because they look different. I don't know that people who look and dress, Muslims who look and dress like this, which are a lot of people, people would have the same resentment and hatred towards. But the way it's even being conceptualized, the way tiptoeing around it not being terrorism or anything like that, and then you got a young girl, African American girl, who I think she wanted to be part of, or not just be part of, I think medically help or do something with ISIS or ISIL, and just talking about it and a statement being out there. She hasn't done anything yet. This is a thought crime. I'm thinking about doing it, and why don't I? And the judge, my goodness, 20 years in prison, just like that. I don't know if the guys that murdered people are going to get that time. Because now it's like, well, we're not going to call it execution. We're not going to call it terrorism. We're not going to call it these things. So as a psychologist, which I am, usually when you get really confusing and confounding types of things, there's usually irrational emotion involved. When things don't make rational sense, there's just this feeling or value or very negative energy that's being inflamed within a person that guides the direction. So at the core of this whole thing, it's really about a power, but it's not just power over 2 to 4 million people out of 370. There's something else involved, because I believe Islam has a very powerful idea that a number of people don't want to, expose or let out for whatever reason. So we really have to rethink, as a black Muslim in America, we really have to rethink, is this country really free anymore? Is it free to really express yourself? Is it free to really practice religion? Is it free to be black? Is it free to be a person of color? Is it free to be a woman all the way? Do you have to give something or compromise yourself to really make some headway in society? So yeah, I could keep going about this, but it just seems like we're in a really interesting time and a really confusing place right now.